Well, if you want to hear the official song of summer performed live, you're going to have to get lucky. I mean, very lucky. Here with the story of the stealth marketing campaign for dance music pioneers Daft Punk's new album is Megan Buerger, who writes about music for the Wall Street Journal. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So this catchy disco piece, we were just listening to it, Get Lucky. It's at the top of iTunes and Spotify lists. It's been viewed millions of times on YouTube. And it isn't because the creators have blanketed the airwaves. But they went a different direction.
They went the opposite direction, which is very characteristic of them. They've done this for years. But they recently started a new partnership with Columbia Records. And the chairman said that they showed up with a book called Rock and Roll Billboards of Sunset Strip. And they said, this is what we want. And they wanted that sort of mainstream, iconic, buzz that used to surround albums years ago. Pink Floyd did this, The Doors. And so they sort of took it back to the old school and did physical campaigns, billboards, SNL commercials, and the buzz generated itself. Really brilliant. Which is
sort of counterintuitive today, right, Megan? Because, you think about artists out there on social media just sort of trying to get in everybody's face as much as they can. But are there other musicians in the past that have done this successfully that they could have borrowed a page from?
Yes. The concept isn't new. I think people are used to these Twitter crusades that happen today, but there are bands today that have done this successfully. I wouldn't say as successfully as Daft Punk, but Odd Future did this, Shabazz Palaces. But even, Prince was notoriously press shy as well, so I think he's a good example. But Daft Punk are sort of in that rare position where they're such superstars, they have such a cult following, that they understood that the buzz would spread no matter what they did. And so they kind of teased people little by little, and it's worked.
Including the journalists and the music critics, right? Very interesting. They didn't send them a link through email to listen to the song. How did they do it?
The demand to hear this album was so high. It was the hottest, electronic album, especially in the past, I would say, 5 years. And so...
And what's the name of the album again?
It's Random Access Memories, and it's out May 21st. And, the publicist, Catherine Frazier, she was really intent on making sure that people listen to this like an album, which isn't something that's done with a lot of electronic tracks today. So she sort of kept it under lock and key and insisted that any journalist that wanted to listen to it sit down with her in person and listen to the album beginning to end, cover to cover, if you say. And she flew to their homes or their offices to make sure this would happen.
All right, thanks, Megan, so much for being with us. That song has been in my head all day. I've listened to it this morning. It's hard to get out, right?
Oh, it's
incredibly catchy.
All
right, great. Thanks so much for being with us.